The previous episode was called No Silly Questions, so why don't we start with what is perhaps the most basic question. What is squash? Well, squash is a racket sport. A racket is a piece of equipment with a frame and strings inside. If it's solid, then it's probably a bat. It uses a small rubber ball which squashes, which is where the name comes from, and is played on a court. Now, don't worry if you don't know anything about the equipment, especially to do with the different types of balls, because there are different types of balls. Don't worry, I will cover those in future episodes. Now, the court is normally white, but it doesn't have to be. The court normally has red lines, but they don't have to be red. They can be different colours. Sometimes professionals play on a glass court, which allows people to watch from all different angles, and it's pretty cool if you do that. There are courts all over the world, but often they are available in your public or local public sports centre. But there are dedicated clubs where you can just go and play. And the advantage of going there is that you know you're going to meet lots of people who want to play squash. There's leagues and ladders and possibly coaching and a bunch of other things. So check out what's available in your local area. Now, the game itself can normally consist of two players, you and your opponent. But you can play doubles, which is of course two players per team against another two players, just like in tennis, for example. That's normally played on the same size court, but you can get doubles courts, but that's less common. Your objective is to hit the ball so that it hits the front wall, stays within the lines, and is difficult for your opponent to get. The ball can hit the side wall or the back walls first, except on the serve. And again, just like the equipment, don't worry if you don't know anything about the rules. I'll be covering the basic rules in future episodes. Now, we have a lot of variety when it comes to squash, because we can hit the ball very close to the wall, we can hit it low, we can hit it high, we can hit it hard, we can hit it soft, we can even hit it off the back wall. Now, there are two things that we have to worry about in squash that other racket sports generally don't, and that is number one, the opponent, and number two, the back wall. And when I say worry about them, we have to recognise that we're in an enclosed area and there is another person. So the swing that we use, the movement to hit the ball, we have to consider those people, the people and the back walls. So we have a special way of swinging in squash, very different from tennis, for example, which can have a much bigger swing. And again, don't worry if you don't know how to swing the ball, because the racket, because that will be covered in future episodes. So one of the main things about squash is the side wall. We try and hit the ball very close to the wall if we can, and we're definitely trying to hit the ball into the back. I'm pointing behind me as if I was facing the squash court. You start the game with a serve, which means you stand in a special place and then you hit it against the front wall, and that's it. And that's really all that squash is. But if I haven't answered a question that you have, or if you have like a doubt about what squash is, then please leave a comment in the bottom of this video and I'll do my best to answer it as quickly and as concisely as possible. If you're fairly new to squash, please consider subscribing and click on the bell so you get notified when I release new episodes. And welcome to the squash community. You're going to have a lot of fun. This is a playlist of all of the other Squash for Beginner videos, and this is a video that YouTube thinks is a really good fit for you based on what you've been watching.